Just talk about the preparation for this one now with a bye week. What do you see out of the guys coming back today after a couple of days?
I thought we had a good day today. The guys came out and worked hard, and anytime you're as a coach, you're always a little nervous when the schedule changes a little bit on how they're going to respond. But responded well. Had a good day today. Kentucky's got a good football team. Patrick told us playing very high level. Last year we played them when I was at Florida and really made 4 or 5 throws in the game where we had tight coverage and really dropped the ball in there. So I think, again, a guy that throws the vertical ball very well. I think that the receiving corps, as I said last week, is very good. That's where they've really made a difference in their roster, in my opinion, their skill and their running backs. I mean, those guys are really good football players. They're bounce-out runners. They're guys that can take it the distance at any time, and created some tempo issues for you in getting the line and covering down. They're physical on the perimeter. They block well. So we have our work cut out for us on Thursday night in Lexington.
How important is it Will to get some pass rush?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd be real happy. But again, you know, we need to generate with 4 guys. You know, we got to win some one-on-ones, and I thought that there was some steps forward as far as our last game was concerned, as far as that was concerned, of some guys getting some push in the pocket in the middle and on the edges. I mean, it's a little bit harder nowadays. I mean, the ball's out very quickly nowadays. The ball's not in the quarterback's hand very long. In Kentucky, certainly, Shannon does a good job of getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand. So, but again, you know, we got to generate some pressure. You know, we got to be able to do that with 4 rushing, and then also when we do pressure and bring 5 or 6, we need to be able to get home.
Well, that's a problem, obviously, this defense had a year ago, developing now without Carl, and went to Cash, went to Chris on edge rushes, things like that. As you evaluated even before this season, how much of what you're seeing and some of the difficulties you're having is some of the same stuff, not only because of the end result, but the same issues maybe?
You know, again, very, you know, you stated it as well as you could. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to have some guys that can win in the one-on-one, and we haven't been able to do that as much as we'd like to at this time. You know, I go back and look at it, because I think each game's a little different from a standpoint of, you know, Louisville, you know, first half, obviously a different pass rush when 55's in the game. You go in the second half, and be quite frank, we got winded chasing the quarterback around. That was something from a substitution standpoint. We probably should have played more guys in the game. You play Jacksonville State, the ball's out. I mean, the pass rush was very difficult to get there, so I think it's a little bit misguided as far as that. Mississippi State, especially in the early downs, first and second down, we're in a lot of 7-man protection. And it's hard to get there in 7 in a 3-man route concept. So it is a little, you know, certainly we've got to create more negative plays in the early downs to create more favorable 3rd down situations. And when you're able to generate more negative plays, which means winning one-on-one in the pass rush or creating a tackle for a loss in a run game situation to get people behind the sticks more. We're not winning on 1st down as much as we need to get us in those situations to be able to generate more pressure and overloads, you know, based on the down and distance. So it's a trickle-down effect of up front, you know, some guys winning some one-on-ones, some disengages, and getting off and making a play and giving them a negative down and going 2nd and 13 instead of 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. And that's a huge difference. And so, again, it goes back to, again, guys winning one-on-ones. You know, at the end of the day, we put the guys in situations. We need to do a better job of that from my standpoint, of putting guys in situations to win the one-on-ones, and when they're there, they've got to be able to do it.
We've seen from their running back when he's been healthy, at least from what he presents as
well. You know, Kemp and those guys are, you know, again, they're guys. Boom Williams, they can take it the distance at any time. Really one-cut runners. They get the ball north and south. They do a really good job of getting it to them in the screen game, the slow screens that scan the formation, also the flare screens and the different ways that they try and get them the ball. So, again, this offense fits those guys extremely well in what they do. And then Horton's a bigger back, 225-pound guy that will go in there and get some dirty yards for them. But they're getting a lot of what we call pod look, 3-back looks, and creating some counter and some leads and some you know, heavy run game things we've got to be able to defend.
Well, you talked about the front 7 last week. Did you see some progress there in this off week?
We'll see on game day. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that they've practiced better. I think we've tried to improve our pad level and our hand placement up front, our blow delivery, and playing behind our pads and disengaging, getting off blocks, playing double teams better. I mean, we spent, not that we haven't before. It's not like we haven't emphasized it before, but again, continue to try and address those things and improve. And we'll find out on game day.
Is this been a time when you've been able to spend extra time with the freshmen and redshirt freshmen on just technique?
They're all playing. I spend a lot of time with them in game week. They're playing.
You mentioned, John.
So I spend the same amount of time with them as I do on.
Oh, I mean, just having extra practice time.
Yeah. Most of them are all playing, so.
To that end, you had mentioned.
I guess I misunderstand your point.
Not just saying extra practice time, you can go back and spend more individual time since you don't have like a game plan.
Oh, I got you.
To work with.
Sure.
To that end, you had mentioned John Tavius Johnson last time we spoke to you. You're feeling like he's going to play, he's going to be his zero?
Yeah, we're getting him ready to play. I mean, getting ready to play in the game. He and Andrew both.
Andrew playing more tackle at this point?
Tackle inside, yep.
What's he got to work on to kind of get to the level where you can use him and feel good about him?
Well, again, you know, it's you know, we just need to give him an opportunity, and certainly he's been out in practice, and we'll give him, you know, as we continue to move forward in the week. This being a Tuesday for us, you know, Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday practice well and earn your time.
And T.J. Davis update, how's he coming along?
Okay, you know, again, it's just, you know, you got to get to that confidence standpoint of going out there and cutting it loose in live contact, and we're not totally there yet. He's moving around well. I'm very pleased with obviously where he is. It's been a very quick recovery, and we just got to work through the confidence levels, making sure he feels comfortable going out and cutting on it.
So other guys okay to go, Trey Williams?
Yes, he's fine. He's ready to go.
Tolles was
And Tim Urban as well. I'm sorry.
No problem. Not bad. Patrick Tolles was pretty productive against you guys last year. He also threw interceptions in that game. Just what do you take from that meeting with him and what he does in the past?
Well, again, the vertical balls he threw in that game, and you know, there's a couple times you just got to tip your hat. I mean, the guy throws the ball in tight coverage, and we had some good coverage. We busted one coverage for a touchdown that we need to get corrected, but again, I think he throws the vertical ball. I think he has a very good command of what they're doing and what they're asking him to do. And he's a very talented young man. He can hurt you with his legs. He can run. He's a bigger guy, so he's not a guy that he's going to run out of bounds. I mean, he's going to gain extra yards and lower his shoulder on you. And he's a very good competitor. So a guy that I think that certainly, as that program continues to take off, they're on his shoulders.
Thursday's a pretty unique deal because you haven't dealt with that a lot in your career. I think the last time you did was Texas and Texas A&M on Thanksgiving. And that's obviously very different than this is midway through the season. It's their first one in school history, and obviously they'll be pretty amped up for it. Is there anything different mentality-wise that you see from a coaching perspective or player perspective?
I just try and maintain routine. I told the kids today, regardless of what anybody tells you, today's Tuesday, and tomorrow's going to be Wednesday, and the next day is going to be Thursday, and then we're going to travel on Friday, and then we're going to play on Saturday. So whatever anybody tells you, they're lying to you. All right, so that's how you approach it, you know, and you buy into that, and I've totally bought into that. And yesterday was Monday. It was really weird because there was a bunch of college games on. But I didn't understand that. Nobody told me that we changed the schedule. But yesterday was Monday, and today's Tuesday, and tomorrow's going to be Wednesday. So, I mean, again, at the end of the day, both teams got to, go through the same, routine, and certainly it'll be a great environment there in Lexington.
Trey is 100% ready to go for you. Does that mean that Cass can play more butt for you, or are you still going to?
Yeah, they'll play both. He's going to play both in the game, so we'll just kind of continue to move forward. But Trey and Chris and Justin and Darrell Williams and Deshaun Davis and all those guys have gotten some reps inside.
Would it be fair to say that John Tavius and Andrew have moved ahead of the other two guys behind?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say that they certainly are getting as many reps as the other guys are, and they certainly, at the end of the day, tomorrow's and Wednesday's practice tomorrow, we'll see how those guys practice, and then Thursday's practice the next day, we'll figure it out from there.
So anything new on Carl Lawson injury?
Not that, no.
You feel good about what you're doing with Cass, moving him around from blocking linebacker and having him kind of be responsible for?
Well, again, he's a guy that can win in the one-on-one, and that we desperately need that. And but it's hard on him because from an assignment standpoint, there's a lot on his plate. But again, he's a senior. He's got to play a lot of football. Going into the last ball game, I knew there would be some deficiencies at the position because of the lack of experience and the lack of playing there. But again, you take the risk of the reward that he made more plays than we would have without him. So, there's some things we needed to clean up, absolutely, but he's been willing and worked his butt off to make sure that we move forward in a very positive direction. So I've been very pleased with what he's done.